In order to farm the moon weapons, you're going to need some Phantasmal Fragments, and lots of them. Unlike the Here Always pieces of Europa, Phantasmal Fragments are not abundant just by doing random crap on the moon. They only drop from specific enemies and activities. Fortunately, I have a detailed guide on what is worth doing for the materials, and what is a waste of your time. Timestamps will be available, of course. Now, if you're going for one specific gun and the relevant Nightmare Hunt is available, just go ahead and run a bunch of that. Nightmare Hunts tend to drop the essence of their name, and they're also the only place you can complete the weekly and daily bounties the Lectern provides, which reward fragments and cores. Outside of those bounties though, Nightmare Hunts are one of the worst ways to farm these fragments and cores. They don't reward much at the end of the hunts, so you're only getting fragments from the individual nightmares throughout the hunts. Lost sectors are on the same level, they simply just don't provide enough materials for the time put in. Alongside the Lectern bounties, there are also a couple of good weekly sources of fragments and cores. Now, I'm going to put in big red words here, these are weekly sources, you cannot farm these. First is the Roaming Nightmare on the Moon. Each week it'll appear in one of the planetary zones and it rotates on reset. On the week of recording, this nightmare was in the Hellmouth. These guys are pretty easy to kill and drop around 9-ish fragments the first time you kill them each week. Don't bother farming them though, because they won't drop anything after that. Next, there are 2 secret chests in the Pit of Heresy that will always drop either fragments, a core, or a random essence. You should really be running Pit at least once a week anyway for that high stat armor, so please pick these chests up while you do that. On the 2 characters I tested on, I got the same drops for each chest, so they either have set drops each week or I just got really lucky. The locations are shown on screen. In terms of grindable options for fragments, there's really only one method that's even worth doing, and that's Altars of Sorrow. All the nightmares you kill during altars will have a chance to drop a fragment, and the final chest after finishing wave 6 will drop somewhere around 5 fragments. This method is great because not only are you getting fragments, but you're also getting the daily altar weapons. Altars are also a great location to work on catalyst progresses for any catalysts you haven't finished yet, as well as both the activity and kill completions required for the essence quests. Reminder, if you're doing Altars of Sorrow for essence completions, make sure you're picking up the random patrols that appear around the area. Wave completions only count for 10%, and those patrols count for 8%. And they're super duper easy. The last bit of advice I can give is try not to double dip on essence bounties too hard, especially if you're buying them from the Lectern. Cores disappear really quickly when you're trying to go for 5 different guns all at the same time. Just try to focus on one essence and just do that until you get the god roll you want. So TLDR, start doing the Nightmare Hunt weeklies, Roaming Nightmares, and Pit of Heresy secret chests as part of your weekly rituals, and then just farm Altars of Sorrow until your brain rots. Don't bother with the Nightmare Hunts or Lost Sectors, and complete your activity requirements by doing altar waves and doing patrols at the same time. And that's it. Good luck to everyone trying to hunt down these weapons. If you have any questions or just suggestions on what I should do a video on next, leave it in the comments. Oh, and subscribe already.